She's the kind of girl you meet over coffee at the church social.
So this is your first CRS. How is it treating, or is it your first CRS? It's not your first CRS. We've never interviewed you before.
You know what? It's my first kind of real CRS, as in like really taking part, as far as media goes and things like that. Because last year and the year before, I didn't have music out, so we could consider it my first real CRS. How about that? Yeah.
First time being dragged in all different directions and up at 4:45.
Exactly. I said to my manager, I was like, I'm a singer. I don't get up at 4:45 in the morning. I get up at like 9. Like right now is when I usually get up. So it's very odd to be awake for already 4 hours. But now I can eat rum balls that are out there in the hallway.
So your first single, Trainwreck, is out. Your first single here in the U.S. And Vince Gill is on the record, Sarah Buxton.
Mm-hmm.
So did you get to actually work with them, or was it done
Away. Well, actually, it's funny because when Vince sang his part, I actually was out of town. I was in Canada on some radio promotion, and I was really upset because I wanted to be there really bad. And it was the only time that we could get together that he'd be able to do it. So my producer and him got together and did the track, and then they sent it to me. As soon as he sang his part, I was like, you need to send it as soon as you have it, and I heard it, and then actually ran into Vince a few days ago and just thanked him again for doing it, and he's just one of the sweetest men that I've ever met. He's so kind and just very genuine, and I think it's neat how he's at a point in his career that he can help younger artists out, and he does, and I think that's fantastic. You know, I mean, he didn't have to sing on it, and he did. You know, we asked him, and he said yes, and he didn't have to do that.
So you live here now, and you are from Canada. What do you feel is it easy? Was it an easy transition, or are there certain things you miss and certain things you love better about being here?
You know, I definitely, I miss my friends and family back home. I think that's the number one thing that I go, wow, like I wish they were here with me. But, you know, Nashville is Music City, and it's where I need to be as far as what I want to do. And I'm lucky enough that I can get home every now and then and visit, and my parents will come visit. And I think that it's important to just kind of fulfill your dreams. And if living in Nashville is what will help me do that, then I kind of think, well, I can't complain. You know, I get to do something that a lot of people would love to do and don't get to do. So I just consider myself really fortunate.
Is Trainwreck indicative of what can be found on the rest of the album? Like the style? Is there maybe a theme? How some people are like, the theme is, and it tells a story. And what about your album?
Trainwreck's very dark. No, it's yes, the whole record's very dark, and yeah, you know, I think that this record really represents me as an artist, and I know that's really cliche to say, but I really feel like I've been singing, trying to do this professionally for probably almost 10 years now, and been in Nashville for almost 5, and I've put music out before in Canada, and so to actually have music out here and this record, it was so important to have it really represent me as an artist, because this is the big time kind of thing, and I chose a lot of songs that I thought, okay, if I'm not going to write this song, I want it to be something that I can really relate to, and I can say, wow, like I've totally been there. And then also, of course, it was really important to have my fans be able to relate to it. So, you know, Trainwreck is a really kind of quirky, tongue-in-cheek song, and you know, it's about a bad date, and everybody's had a bad date. You know, I mean, I've had my fair share of bad dates, and I'm sure you have. I mean, everybody has, and so I love that about the song, that it's just relatable in that way. And yeah, and the whole record, I think definitely, like, if there's definitely some more vulnerable songs. There's definitely a couple more quirky songs. There's some stuff that's, you know, heartache, heartbreak, you know, but then there's just the fun I love you songs. So it's going to be cool. I hope people love it as much as I do.
Is there an official release date, like an actual date?
There is not an actual date, but May. Yeah, month of May, where spring flowers are coming up. Well, I guess they'll be already up in Nashville, but where I'm from, they don't come up till like August. No.
So you grew up horseback riding and stuff. Have you been able to carry that on since you've been here, or?
Not really. I basically had to choose between horseback riding and my singing career back a few years ago, and so I don't get to ride as much as I would like to. It's a very great stress reliever, so it's one of those things that when you're up on your horse and you're out on the trail or whatever, you're not thinking about anything but what you're doing right there. And so I do miss that, having that kind of escape from everything. But when I go home, my mom still has a horse, and I'll go out and ride with her. And so a couple times a year I'll get out and do some riding, but not as much as I obviously used to.
Favorite country music artist when you were growing up?
I loved the Mavericks when I was a kid. All you ever do. That was one of my favorite songs. Probably the Mavericks. I looked up to Trisha Yearwood a lot when I was a kid as well, and I remember the Judds quite fondly.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
When someone says they're going to call you back and they don't. I hate that.
Cats or dogs?
Cats, big time. I'm a cat lover. My friends say I'm going to be the crazy cat lady when I'm old.
Who would you most like to be stuck in an elevator with?
Well, Keith Urban just came to my brain, but you know, I love lots of different men in the movies. If you're good looking, basically anybody who's really good looking.
For example, who's your favorite?
Oh God, I'm trying to think of some of my favorite actors that I'm kind of loving right now, and I can't. Of course, they're not coming to my brain. What's a movie? I just saw a movie that I really. Not Channing. No, not him. I think he has big ears. Never mind. I shouldn't say that to you.
Hey, you know.
God. Can we come back to that one? I have to think about. There's an actor that I'm trying to think of, and I can't even picture him right now because I'm really tired and this coffee's not working. But I know there's somebody. So just keep going. I'm gonna think as we talk.
Who's your favorite person to follow on Twitter?
Blake Shelton. He's hilarious.
If you had to pick 3 words to describe yourself, what would they be?
Fun, sarcastic, a little quirky, I think.
If your guitar could talk, what would it say?
These are good questions. What I was gonna say, I can't say on camera because it's swearing. But I think it would just say. What would my guitar? I know, it's funny. What would my guitar say? That's not inappropriate. I think that, to me, being a female and playing guitar in general, I think that's kind of special. So, I think my guitar would say, "Take care of me," because I can be very rough sometimes on my instruments.
What's your favorite thing to do on your days off?
I like sleeping a lot. You know, it depends. I love to have a nice glass of wine and put my sweatpants on and watch a good movie. I mean, I'm a homebody, so just enjoying kind of quiet time, I think, is really important to me.
What would a career-defining moment be? Like a, wow, this has happened. It could all go away now, and it would be worth it.
Definitely. I mean, having Vince on the track, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing to say that I've have Vince Gill featured on my single. I think that in general, I mean, the fact that the people I've gotten to meet and just everything I've gotten to do, because again, I mean, most people don't get to do this, and I sometimes forget that I've gotten to meet people that people go, "You've met that person?" Or I look at some of the phone numbers in my phone, and people, like, if someone got a hold of my phone, they'd be like, "Oh my God, she has so-and-so's number," and so I think that it's kind of fun. Like, I look at everything and go, wow, like I've come so far from 5 years ago or even last year, just to kind of see the improvement. So, but I think probably having Vince is one of the top for sure.
Do you have a favorite knock-knock joke?
That's a good one too. I'm sure I do. Knock who's there? I don't think I actually have a really good knock-knock joke. My jokes are really bad. Like, I'm sure I probably made up a really stupid one at one point in time, but I can't remember it. No, so at this point in time, no.
Have you remembered your elevator movie star?
No, but I want to because it's such a good question. Okay, I'm thinking still. Oh, you just reminded me. Ryan Gosling. My elevator hottie is Ryan Gosling. She just said, and Ryan Reynolds is very hot too, and he's Canadian. Mm-hmm. And Ryan Gosling's Canadian. That's funny. Yeah, Ryan Gosling, that man. It's like every movie I see, I'm just like, hello, and it's bad because I seriously, like, if I got stuck in an elevator with him, I'd jump on him. I'd be like, just go with it, Ryan. Just go with it.
Yeah, she's a